Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Taking Over. I am, of course, OLED Ed Fries, joined, as always, by the natural Astrid Pizarro, and this person has been very excited for us to do this show since we decided to do the indies. Since we announced we were doing indie wrestling coverage, Millie has been waiting for us to do this, to the point where she asked to be on this show. And I said no for one reason. Astrid has to work at 6 a.m. and we need the show to be done by 6 a.m. And if Millie's on this show, we'd still be broadcasting by the time Astrid had to go to work. So thank you, Zach. We greatly appreciate that. It is indeed Mario Day, so thank you for that. So on Sunday, I was a very happy camper. I watched this entire show on Sunday and loved it. I missed some things when I watched it on Sunday, but I watched this show on Sunday and loved it. And then Monday rolled around. And things happened. And then today rolled around. And things really happened. So Astrid, you have a message for the viewers that we're going to repeat. And again, we're going to say this once. And only once. Astrid, go ahead.
Well, first, I apologize if I sound kind of weird. I'm still getting over being sick, but I couldn't miss the show and not talk about all the women that were on the show, so I had to still be here no matter what. The disclaimer that we have, and that's what we're putting at the beginning of the show, it's going to be in our chapters too, so you can see it that once and for all, it's going to be there, and I think in our description as well. We have picked this show for, I think, for like 2 weeks or so at this point that we were planning on doing this show, and obviously we had to wait for it to happen, so that didn't happen till International Women's Day, which was the 8th. So technically, we didn't start seeing a lot of things until a little bit of yesterday and the most today, to be honest. And the most from yesterday were a little vague, so I was sending it to Ed and not knowing what was happening. It's like, something's happening with the show. I want to find out more, but the posts I'm seeing are too vague, and I just don't know who to ask or what's going on. Thankfully, in a way, today we saw a lot of the postings, and now we understand what the vague posts on Monday were about. So say, like, the disclaimer is today we're only going to be talking about the wrestling show. We understand there's something's going on behind the scenes about the people that were working this event. We had no idea up until basically today, with everything that we learned with every single post as each one of them came coming in. So like we said, we're just going to be focusing on the women's wrestling because that's what we're here for, and that's all we want to say about it at this moment. Everybody in OLE, we're all agreed about saying this beforehand as well, so this is something that we collectively agreed on, and we wanted to focus just on the women's wrestling and the show itself and nothing else. Yeah. There we go.
This is a decision that was made by a bunch of us in the Our Local Establishment team, I would say, that because we discussed not doing the show tonight because of everything that came out. However, we all agreed that this show deserved to have coverage. We agreed that the problematic people were not on the screen. And so we're just going to pretend that they don't exist. And we're going to cover the fantastic, incredible women that were on this show that put their bodies on the line and had one of the better wrestling shows that I've ever seen. Spoiler alert, I really like this show. With the exception of, exactly, thank you. Oh, hold on. Yes, the women don't deserve to have their efforts being scrubbed because of poor choices by management behind the scenes. I agree. I've always had a lot of respect for Dan. So, and that's it's interesting. It's been a tough couple days. But let's move on to our first opening match of this show. By the way, let's talk about our commentary team for the night. Obviously, Dan. Dan was fine on commentary. Let's talk about the star of the commentary team. Let's talk about Jetta. I didn't know who this was. Like, I didn't realize this was Jetta. I've seen her work. I've seen her wrestle. I had no idea. I had to ask Millie who was on commentary with Dan. Because I know Dan's voice, and I can pick his voice out of anywhere. Because I've heard the man speak many a times. I had no idea it was Jetta. She's so good on the mic. She is absolute. There was a point when they had audio issues, and I don't know if Astrid's version had this, where we just had Jetta for an extended period of time doing commentary, and I almost wanted Dan to not come back. Because she was so good at the difficult job of being a one-man booth.
Yeah. I would say she's behind Swollen and Chris for me. Like her and even both of them together. Like if I could put them like that, they're really great second. I love the fact that it didn't have to be somewhat of like a heel face commentator. More, it was more about like them geeking out about what they're watching, and I love the passion they have for it, and the fact that they give us so much history throughout the matches and tell us so much like backstory and storytelling throughout this. So the detailing they have with it was incredible. So I'll put them in my number 2 commentary team so far.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely directly behind Swole and Chris. And honestly, if I could have Chris and Jetta as a commentary team with Rich Palladino doing the in-ring introductions, I'd be a happy camper. Millie, let me know the name of the ring announcer, because I know she's a comedian. I know she's very, very popular over there in the UK. I did not remember her name, unfortunately. So just drop it in the chat, because she was fantastic tonight. The other thing I will say about this is there's a rule of thumb in professional wrestling, especially in indie wrestling. If the ring announcer is speaking, commentary is supposed to lay out and let the commentator finish and let the announcer finish and then pick back up again. That's literally the only gripe I have this entire show with the commentary team, is that they didn't lay out for the ring announcer when she was doing in-ring introductions. They were trying to talk at the same time she was, and that really got to me a couple of times. Very small thing, but yes. Aha, I have a Discord message. I'm assuming that's Ashley giving me a name. It is. We have a private chat, but go ahead and send it to me this way.
Hey, it's a screenshot. I can send it a private chat. Yes,
you're right. Sakisa. Yes, Sakisa. Okay, there we go. Peggy also gave me a lot of information. We'll get to that later on as we get to the end of the show, where I was relying on Peggy for a couple things. So, the Sudden Death 16. This was originally, and again, I listened to the live stream this afternoon with some of those individuals, and this was supposed to be a gauntlet match originally. When this match was pitched for this show, it was going to be a 16-woman gauntlet match that was going to be slightly different than the Casino Battle Royal Rumble, Joshi Rumble type thing that we ended up getting. This is, as Ashton will have said, glorious fucking chaos. Because my God, did this thing have so much going on. This included Dash, Charlie Morgan, Miyu Yamashita, Yamashita, sorry.
Yeah.
Nyla Rose, not you, but the wrestler you, who came out of retirement, Jamie Hayter, Nightshade, Princesse Lauriana, Alexxis Falcon, Molly Spartan, Lucy Skye, Emersyn Jayne, Anita Vaughan, Aluna, Lil Marz, and Abby Cartwright.
And thank you to Mel for pronunciation. She also helped me out too on this.
She did. Ashton had me listen to it before the show to make sure that I heard it right, and I still screwed it up.
It's okay.
Ashton, what do you got here? Sudden Death 16. The winner is indeed Alexxis Falcon, if I remember correctly. I honestly don't remember writing it down. Who won this match? I think it was Alexxis Falcon, though.
Yeah. It was like I didn't want to. I don't know how much you had watched by the time I messaged you. That's why I didn't want to say much. But if I remember the most, you were saying this is just glorious chaos, and I love every bit of it. I was just waiting for one of the girls to jump from the apron, basically from the stage they had to the ring. That's all I wanted for the beginning of this. We got it towards the end, but still, it was fun to watch. I love the fact that they said people can get eliminated over the top rope because we got a couple eliminations that way as well. But basically, the way to win it was to be by pinfall submission. So they mentioned it reminded me of the casino battle royals from AEW. It's like it can end at any time without all 16 people being involved. And I was like, I like that concept of it. The fact that basically, let's say only 5 of them can show up because the match ended or anything like that. So it's the possibility of that happening is always really fun to watch. So I was always waiting for that moment to see if this happened during the match, but I'm glad at the same time that we got everybody that was supposed to be there. Really, I was so glad I was waiting for somebody to do that. So I was glad in case he did it at the end. I was like, finally, I've been waiting for this all night.
Charlie Morgan, when she agreed to be on the show, Dan said he got a text message from her asking, does the venue have a balcony? To which she was promptly told, you're not fucking doing it. Because they want to run the Indigo and the O2 again. By the way, this venue, chef's kiss. Fantastic. Yep. Love this. I love a good music venue for a pro wrestling show. I will still say to the ends of the earth, I hate English wrestling rings because they're so fucking small. Like, this ring looks like it's literally like one of those Rock'em Sock'em robot sized rings. Like, it's tiny. Yes, Charlie will jump off anything. No, I'm well aware of this young lady and what Shannon Levangie learned it from somebody, and I've always known who it was that Shannon Levangie learned how to do dives like that from. And it's Charlie Morgan. I guarantee it. Yeah. If I ever get to interview her, it is a question I will ask her.
I think that's always very interesting. So I was waiting for that visual to somebody jump off of it. I love the fact that with the lighting that you can only see the people basically towards the first couple of rows if the wrestlers go sort in that way. The only thing that made me think about was the safety of the guardrails, because it basically had like the legs coming out like that, and the wrestlers could basically hit themselves as they got eliminated. I don't know. I think I saw some people get close to it, so that was concerning. But aside from that, I love how the venue looked overall.
Eliminations in this match: Emersyn, Jayne eliminated Skye. Miyu and Hayter both eliminated each other to continue their feud from Friday night, where they had 2 time limit draws in a 25-minute match. Molly Spartan eliminated Luna and Little Marz. Charlie Morgan eliminated Anita Vaughan. Molly also then eliminated Nyla Rose later on. Abby eliminated Dash, which did not go well for her in the end of the night when she got put through a table by Dash after Abby got eliminated by Charlie Morgan herself. Yeah. This was indeed glorious chaos. That spinning DDT from Alexxis Falcon is incredible. Like, it's not something new. It's not reinventing the wheel. But that move was really cool, doing it like a Randy Orton draping DDT with a spin to it. I really loved it. This match went way too long for my liking because, again, I don't love Rumbles. They're fine. I get it. But, they didn't explain the rules very well in the beginning. And, by the way, another thing I'll say about this is they didn't explain a lot of the rules for some of these matches going into them. Like, in the main event, it's a no-holds-barred anything-goes match that was never once mentioned to us on commentary. Figured out about halfway through when all of a sudden when the moment that the special trash can got thrown in the ring and there wasn't a disqualification, I realized that there were no rules in this main event.
We don't need any rules.
Yes, rules. We don't need no stinking rules. But yes, Alexxis Falcon gets the win, and now she can challenge for any Eve championship she wants. I have a feeling, based on the end of the show, I think we know where she's going to go with it. But we'll get to that at the end of the show. We next have one of my matches of the night. We have Safire Reed taking on Azumi. Now, I understand that some professional wrestlers in other countries start training before the age of 18. I don't think any professional wrestler should be training before the age of 18. I really don't. I understand that that's not how all cultures work, and I get that. However, at the age of 23, nobody belongs being 11-year professional. I'm sorry, Japan. What? Azumi should not be an 11-year pro at 23. No, not allowed. Ella J makes me feel old when she tells me that she doesn't remember things that happened before the year 2000, essentially. Azumi, not only was she not born in the 1900s, she started professional wrestling just after the 2010s started, and she's 23. Yeah, and barely any injuries. How? Why? She's too fucking good, too, on top of it all. this match was sensational. If it weren't for one other person on this show, I'd say these two are my absolute ones to watch. Because these two are going to be running women's divisions somewhere, someday in the near future. Because Safire Reed is so good. And even though she lost, she was so fucking good in this match. I just, yeah, that does feel so wrong. It really does.
Oh my goodness. The idea I was disappointed is that because I know they're a tag team, I was waiting for Safire and AV to have a match in a tag team match somehow. But at the same time, I love the matches they were in. I just wanted to see them as a tag team at least. But I got another tag team that I really love, so I was really happy about it. Yeah, this was one of those that I was like, how did you go after that like Rumble type match? Because that was a lot of glorious chaos and how to keep up the energy. That's one thing I will give to the fans. Their energy was amazing throughout this whole event, from beginning to end. No matter who was in the ring, they were always chanting for somebody somehow. They were not quiet at all. And I love the fact that the woman...
There's a lot of alcohol flowing through this building, trust me.
Still, it was like they were showing the woman a lot of love. And I was very glad to hear that as well. To like hear that excitement makes you more excited for the show in itself when you're watching it, even sometime later. I love the match between these two. The fact that I could see Safire being by herself as well is something that was I don't get to see it often in clips because I see her with AV always as a tag team, so it was always great to see that. I especially love the submissions here because we have AZ she comes with the arm bar, but also we have Safire with the crossface at one point, and it was just beautiful to watch. This one I was really torn because I was like either one of them could win the way the match is going, so I was like I'm just enjoying the ride basically. So it was one of the wonderful match to watch. But yeah, it's like I love how they kept going. The momentum was another thing throughout this whole event. I feel like there was no like dip for me that I'd be like, oh, this is boring. Nothing like that happened for me during this one.
Yeah. We'll move on to our next match. We have the Eve Tag Team #1 Contenders match, Fatal 4-Way, involving Dani Moe and Melissa Fierce. Aliss Inc. I don't even remember how to pronounce that name, the first one, because it doesn't look how it's pronounced. Aliss. I think it's Aliss Inc. and Chantal Jordan. French artists made of Corey Zero and JGU, and NyteSkye, Simpson and Smitten, and Violet Knight. Aliss. Okay, it is just Aliss. I love this. Give me a good tag team Fatal 4-Way, and I'll be in my seat, popping my popcorn, enjoying everything. These women tore the house down here. NyteSkye is one of my new favorite tag teams in the world because I love the vibe, I love the look, I love the wrestling style, I love the theme music. They are right up Oled's alley. They are fantastic. Very excited to see more of them. French art caught my eye. I was not expecting to really like French arts as much as I did. I thought they were a really cool, interesting heel team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mel, I'll tell you how to watch the show later. You know where it's at.
Yeah, I was telling her about it too because I was like, there's so many people here that I feel she's familiar with, so I definitely recommend it for her to watch it as well. I love the fact that we have a lot of moments here of like Dani being isolated during this whole match. Even though we have 4 teams here, the fact that we still have that moment that there's isolation and they keep her on one side of the ring, and it's basically at so many points in this match is Dani versus NyteSkye, and it's like, what? Nobody else is gonna come in here and help her. Nobody. So it was like one of the things that was entertaining to watch. I like the fact that Melissa tried at some points to even try to defend her at least, and don't leave her partner behind like that either. So that was very nice to watch as well. But yeah, I feel like NyteSkye was very like dominating in this match. I believe it was Skye. Skye reminded me a lot of Shayna Baszler. Like the look and the vibe and everything just reminded me a lot of her. So it felt like I was watching Shayna all over again.
Shayna Rhia tag team is what this felt like to me. NyteSkye felt like Rhia and Shayna right out the gate. As soon as they came out, I'm like, yep, I know what this is. I'm in. I love these two. Yeah. Oh, French Art debuted literally on the Friday show, Women Behaving Badly. Interesting.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
And apparently Skye gets that a lot.
I can see it. I definitely can see it. But yeah, it was overall a fun match to watch. I feel like there was again a lot of action everywhere. I liked even the fact that Dani being the way she was isolated in this match, the crowd was so behind her, and every single point they saw her isolated, always chanting for her with creative chants for her too. I love the way they were showing that support for her at the end. Yeah, at the end, I think I don't know if you mentioned that we had a NyteSkye win after they took advantage of her, everything that was happening.
We did. NightSkye are the number one contenders for the tag team titles, and we'll get to who they're chasing next when we get there in a little bit. But first, oh boy. Alrighty. Astrid, I'm going to let you talk first because I have thoughts and concerns about what we're about to talk about. And I'm really glad that both Jamie and Peggy are here for this because I have some thoughts on what comes next.
We had Amira and Harley before to give the start of what this is that we're just talking about.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I thought people might know. Yes, the 3-minute match between Harley and Amira that took 20 fucking minutes to do.
I feel bad for Amira. I know she wanted to be in the cage match thing, so I was like, I feel bad that she ended up being the 3 minutes instead of the 5.
I mean, you can say that. We'll see how that goes.
To me, the funny part was when you messaged me because I didn't want to say anything and I ended up watching.
Oh my god! No, do not tell people what I messaged you. Do not, please.
No, it's just like the fact that you were asking me is like, what is this? And I just like.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the first message I sent you.
No. I was like, to summarize it, you were asking me like, what is this? And I'm like, in my mind, how do I describe Amira and Harley Cameron to it? It's like. The best way I can describe it, these are just theater kids that are turned wrestlers. Is the best way I can tell you about this whole thing. Oh my gosh, it was really funny. I like that we had that moment still of comedy during this match, and during the whole thing to begin with. And I was like, I know how Harley is when it comes to like the singing and the comedy part of it. Amira, I had seen stuff mostly on her social media, but I hadn't seen it like in person like this. So it's just fun to watch how like they have such a great like back and forth with each other throughout this whole thing. It was just fun to watch overall. And I was like, the fact that you like asked me what is this, I'm like, I don't even know how to answer that. I mean, I didn't get to see that, so I can't say that. So that's the only thing. But
all right. Is it my turn now?
Yeah, you can tell me how you felt throughout this.
Okay. So we'll start with the 2 messages because I do realize they're really not that bad. So the first message I send to Astrid as we're talking about the show is, did they just say coming to the ring with her natural titties for Harley Cameron? That was the first part. And then I said, what the fuck? Because that's when I got to the musical interlude. And Astrid says, what part? And I'm like, why is Amira going down in Aspire? Why is there a musical performance? Why does Amira want to show off her bigger asshole than Harley Cameron's tits? Why is Harley Cameron talking about her tits, period? All of these are valid questions that I had about this segment. On top of the fact that both of these people singing made me miss Jillian Hall.
I know.
That's how bad they were. They made me miss Jillian Hall.
No.
Because Harley Cameron ruined, not performed badly, ruined Sweet Caroline. Which, by the way, I'm from Boston. That song gets played at the 7th inning stretch of every Boston Red Sox home game. It is our state song, essentially. And how dare you ruin that, Miss Harley Cameron? No. Bad Harley Cameron. Don't love you anymore. Look, I tried to be respectful of the women when I watched the professional wrestlings. Like, after we got off the show last week, I felt bad when I went on about Tara Zapp and realized that she retweeted about the show. And I'm like, oh God, this could be a bad look. And then this week, we have in-the-ring introductions. Like, not just a line on commentary that got fed to them by a talent. No, in-ring introductions talking about that. And then we had a girl going down on a performance spider on stage. Like, the match was 3 minutes. The segment was a good 20.
And it made me laugh because, like, well, I think it was a little bit earlier, yeah. Bailey sent me a message asking me, he's like, hey, if you have any questions about anything, let me know.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could think about was this. And I was like, I don't have any right now, but I know Ed has questions about Amira and Harley. And this is basically her response.
Yeah.
Oh
look, this was fun. I get it. Like, this was fun. It wasn't for me, but I get what this is. I love it. For the people who loved it, it's fine. Not everything in wrestling. I love Monty Python. It has been a bit of a while since I've seen Monty Python. It has. Yeah, I agree. Flavors of ice cream. There's a reason why Eve is over 18. That's because they just ply you with alcohol. No. I listened to the thing where they said that the venue has a limit and you have to meet a specific barrier or you have to pay extra if you don't meet the bar tab at this arena. No, like I said, this is fine. Like, JB's right. Flavors of ice cream. This isn't for me, but it's for so many other people. In comedy wrestling has a very vital and important place in wrestling. I love comedy wrestling. This one wasn't for me because I was like, this is a serious show with serious competitors doing serious things. And then I saw this shit. And I'm like, really? Because the rest of this card is essentially no jokes, all just serious shit from here on out, essentially. With the exception of Lally, everything else on this show is like as serious as can be. And I'm just like, but you know what? For the people who enjoyed this, good for you. For all Ed, this was 20 minutes of misery. And the match only lasted 3. But I will give Amira credit. The complaining she's done online about cage match requirements that you can't rate a match that's under 5 minutes taught me something because I didn't know that existed. Ed loves fun, but yes, Ed also hates fun too. Like, let's be honest here. Ed is right about comedy. Blake Mansour Noah is very much comedy, but he can lock in. Like, Harley is great. Like, I've seen Harley wrestle. She's good. She didn't get to show much of it tonight in that show, but I know she's got talent. It's just, it is what it is. You know, it is like I said, complain so much they changed the. Did they really? Did Cage Match change the rules now about that after the complaining from Amira? I hope they did because that's fine. This is an A+ segment because it made me hate the segment so much that it viscerally gave me a reaction. And at that point, it's all you can ask from professional wrestling. Oh, I'm sure. If you're a comedy wrestler, you have to be a talented wrestler because you have to be good enough to be able to do comedy and wrestle at the same time. Comedy wrestlers are never bad wrestlers. Like R-Truth, one of the best in-ring competitors of this generation, one of the funniest dudes in the world. Santino Marella is a really competent and valid competitive wrestler who is one of the best and funniest people around. Danhausen can wrestle. It's about as far as I'll go with Danhausen. He can wrestle. Moving on as far and as fast as I can. Peggy's moment of the night because she got retweeted by the Queen herself. Willow Nightingale taking on and defending her AEW TBS Championship against Nina Samuels. This made me remember that I do love professional wrestling after hating it for 20 minutes watching the other things. Willow Nightingale is so fucking good. Like, no matter where she goes, every crowd loves her. Everything she does is gold. She can do no wrong. She is amazing. This match was great. Nina Samuels is the epitome of the villain that somebody like Willow Nightingale needs. These two put on magic here. It's sensational. Love it. 5 stars.
Oh my god. I need to recover after that match. After the comedy stuff. I love the fact that I can watch Nina wrestle. I hadn't seen her wrestle since the NXT UK stuff, so that was always nice too. I've seen clips of her online ever since, and she's improved a lot too, even more than she was before. Like, she was good before, and she got even better. I definitely love, like you said, that like almost like hero versus villain type of story that we got throughout this match, with so many ways that Willow will get the audience involved in here. and Nina would try her best. It's like even faking an injury at one point, and even later, like kind of moving in a way to show that she wasn't injured. She was just obviously using the mind games on Willow. I like that we have a lot, some kind of like a close calls in some points during the match too. It's like I knew that Willow was gonna still retain, but it's still interesting when you're like at the edge of your seat thinking it's like, oh, that's pretty cool how close it got in this match. But yeah, I love the fact that this happened. I love at one point during the beginning of the match, Nina goes out of the ring and goes around and starts running. And when she's about to go and she's about to do an elbow drop to Willow, and Willow ducks before she goes in the ring. So Nina doesn't hit her with the elbow before she goes in the match, and she's like, "That's not happening with me." Like I love that because yeah, a lot of usually when there's a lot of baby faces, they forget about stuff like that and they act like almost like idiots, and they end up getting hit by like an elbow drop otherwise. So I'm glad she didn't get hit by anything like that. One thing I really loved about this match, that 450 splash from Nina. Chef's kiss. That was stunning. That was beautiful to watch. It's like I needed to rewind it once I saw it. I had to go back a few seconds. I wanted to rewatch that because it looks so beautiful. That spot was amazing, and how close that was. And it's like, as Luis would say, a 2.999 because that's how close it was. But again, beautiful. I love the visual here. But again, in the end, we still have Willow retaining.
If Tony were to, this is the title Tony would flip on a show like this just to get some publicity coming out of it. Like, this is a title I could have seen flipping and then being won again by Willow on a Dynamite or on a Collision, something like that. Like, just to get some publicity, like, oh my God, Nina Samuels just won the AEW TBS Championship. What happens now? Somebody who's not signed to it, especially if there's somebody like this who, look, there's 3 people who essentially work for AEW on this show, not to mention the one behind the scenes helping run the show. Like, Willow works for the company. Statlander works for the company. I mean, at this point, you could kind of basically say Alex Windsor works for the company. I know she's not technically all elite yet, but she's about as all elite as you're going to get.
I think she is.
Is she all elite now? I didn't know.
I believe so.
I didn't know she got all elite. I hadn't seen a graphic. If she had, I missed the graphic at some point. But like, this is the kind of show that I could have seen the AEW TBS title changing. Like, I was almost certain that Willow was going to win, but I wouldn't have put it past Tony to put the title on Nina, even for just a night. Okay, Millie has confirmed that she is all elite. Yeah. Makes sense. I'm not surprised. She's exactly the type of person they want there for AEW. She's fantastic. I love her. We'll talk about Alex Windsor in a minute. But yeah, this was just a sensational match. That 450 was just great. Like everything about this. This is a 5-star match. This is what you needed after doing Amira and Harley. You needed to have something like this, and this was exactly what you wanted. Okay, so it is Harley, Willow. Oh yeah, Harley. AEW. Yeah, she's there too.
And Jamie.
Tag team champion. Oh yeah, Jamie. There's all kinds of them all over the place. Yeah.
Come on.
I don't watch that product. I don't know who's on the roster all the time.
I get it.
Honestly, at this point, I couldn't tell you who's on.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to say
it. Sure. I mean, honestly, if anybody's gonna say Windsor, it's probably me anyways, because considering we drop our R's when it's AR on any word anyways, so it makes perfect sense. Jamie is still our stuff. No, Jamie is indeed all elite. I'm almost certain of that one. I'm certain of that one now that I remember that she's on this. She was on this card for so little I forgot that she was on the card.
Wait, who? Sorry, I got kicked out of here.
Oh, Hayter.
Because she was at the beginning and at the end.
Well, yeah, she's there at the end, but she doesn't do a whole lot at the end. And yeah, no, Oh, speaking of people who were in the beginning, Nyla's there too. We did forget about Nyla. Nyla's on the show too. All kinds of AEW people all over the place. Yeah, no. This is exactly the kind of place that you would do it. No graphic for you or RJ. Yeah. Trust me, Tony Khan's never going to put a graphic of me anywhere. You and Jamie are going to get a graphic long before OLED gets a graphic on AEW. Anyways, any more thoughts on the TBS title match before we move to the next match?
No, I'm ready for that one.
All right, moving on to our next match. We are indeed talking about Alex Windsor becoming the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Championship. God, that title is a mouthful. Defeating Surrey to become the new champion. I'm making that graphic now. Oh, Tony's going to hate that if he sees that graphic go up. Remember, we got confirmation that Nita hates the whole thing is in ballet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Astrid, go ahead and talk glowingly about this one.
This one that one was very like hard hitting. I love how they talk about, especially in commentary here, about the history between both of them. Zuri is like the way she's just staring at Alex the whole time, right before the match even starts, like intimidating her the way she could. There's a lot of submissions here too. I like how she came about and how she like gave them to us during the match in itself, and it's like I love the back and forth where they have with each other, especially like at the end where they just start just basically just hitting themselves on the face. It's like that back and forth here was like almost like slapping each other and forearms and everything. It's like I don't know how they did it, but it was so hard hitting. For this one though, when the pin does happen, it took me a moment to realize that Alex had won. I thought that Zuri had kicked out. During that particular moment there, but again, I was like it was really well done. I love also the sign of respect they have with each other at the end. Alex towards her as well, and the celebration overall that we have with each other here. But it's just pretty nice to see Alex getting this highlight, especially recently. And it's gonna be great to even see her now in AEW with the championship in hand. Hopefully, that's the thing I'm waiting for to see.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. They have that. They have that the partnership with New Japan, so there's no reason she won't be bringing the New Japan Strong Championship there. I mean, Mercedes brought it every time she managed to show up at the show, so no reason why Alex won't be able to do that either. Yeah, Alex's reaction was great. I adored this match from beginning to end. It's my third favorite. It's hard to say that it's probably the best wrestled wrestling match on this card, and it's my third favorite match of the night. Like, I didn't think after watching this match that it would end up at number 3 on the card for my match of the night listings on this thing. This thing was sensational from beginning to end. I adore this type of professional wrestling. There's so much good in it. That is just sensational. Alex is the ultimate, and hopefully she can continue to have fantastic. Yes, Dan was talking about it on the podcast earlier today. It's bruised and beaten, and it's not very pretty, but she also still wants another match with Jamie.
Of course.
She still said, I want more. Give me more of Jamie from Friday night's show. So Dan is going to hopefully run that one back. This was a sensational match. I really enjoyed it. But we need to talk about my match of the night, which means we need to move on to the next match. My match of the night, I didn't expect it going into the card, but coming out of it, I can't see any other matches better than this. For the Eve Tag Team Championships, Charlie Evans and Jessica Troy taking on my new favorite tag team, Lally. Harley Barlow has got to be one of my favorite things about... I had no clue who she was coming into the show. I'd never heard the name. I knew who Lana Austin was. I'd heard that name before. I had never heard of Holly Barlow going into the show. Coming out of it, I will never forget her. She is my new favorite professional wrestler. I love everything about this tag team. I love this match from beginning to end. I thought these girls put on a hell of a show. And the moment of Lana at the end of this, when they win, being like, you're my best friend. I'm such a fickle WWE guy that the fact that Holly was standing behind her after she said that, I thought she was going to blast her with the tag team title. I'm such a disgruntled WWE fan that's the first thing that popped in my mind after that happened is like, oh no, they're doing the heel turn. No.
Oh
how bad is that? How that I've been trained as this cute, lovable moment is going to be ruined. No, it was. Oh, Jessica Troy is. It needs to be some. Like, I get it. People are going to sit here and talk about Charlie Evans. People are going to sit here and talk about Lana Austin and Holly.
Uh-huh.
Like, they're going to talk about all of these people. Let's talk about Jessica Troy.
Yes, Jessica.
what women's wrestling, and again, I should not be the one preaching to the women's wrestling choir, but Jessica Troy is something completely different to women's wrestling that we don't have. Because so many times in women's wrestling, we have people who are like this person. We talked about Tara Zapp last week, how I said she's a lot like Rhio, she's a lot like Asuka, she's a lot like Rosemary. There's so many things that she's like. Jessica Troy has crocheted gear. Like the outside of her gear is crocheted, at least for this show. I don't know if it's always, Jamie, you can kind of give me something on that. The hair. When's the last time we saw a girl with a perm like that as a professional wrestler with that big, huge, poofy perm?
I will give you a backstory though. I know most of the people in the chat will know for most likely. They actually had a show before this.
Mm-hmm.
And they barely made it to this show. They made it 2 hours before the show started. So not only that, but they were facing each other in the other event, only to team up in this one too. And I said, this is just sums up what Charlie and Jessica are all about. It's like the fact that they go from being opponents in this one to the fact that they're teaming up for tag team championship on this show. I loved it. I really did. And it's like, I love them as a team. So I wonder maybe the outfits have to do with the fact that they barely had any time to get ready. So I wonder that's another factor to it. But either way, they look pretty great as a team, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, I love this from beginning to end. I thought that the story that was told through this match was fantastic. The dueling submissions and beating each other up portion I thought was really great. Mm-hmm. I always love that when like two teams both have a submission on, and the people that are in the submissions are both the legal people, so nobody can lose the match. So you get to have a little bit of leeway and do a little bit of fun. I love that. The fact that the gear is crocheted and that she does it herself, as Jamie's just told it, is fantastic. But the look of Jessica is so great and so different. And the best part is every time I see her, I forget you've interviewed her, because when you see her in person normally, she looks nothing like her wrestling. She looks like a I remember this because I told you this the moment I saw the Astrid Ask where you did for Jessica Troy, and I go, she looks like a librarian. Are you sure she's a professional wrestler? You're like, yeah. No, she wrestles in Australia.
So it does fit.
But she looks like a librarian. Like she's got the glasses and she just has this like natural down to earth look. And then she gets into the wrestling gear and she's just an absolute knockout. It's just like, I love from beginning to end. This is my match of the night. This was so great to think that they, again, like Astrid said, wrestled each other inside of a steel cage, flew to Houston, and then flew to England to get here in time for the show. Barely made it in time for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Jessica Troy was an unannounced person on this show because I believe Charlie's partner was a TBA.
I don't know if I saw that before, but
because I don't remember seeing Jessica. I don't remember seeing Jessica Troy on any of the promotional stuff that I was looking at for the show.
Could be.
But yes, Millie, absolutely go on to Astrid's YouTube channel if you're not already there, and go ahead and watch Astrid Asks. I believe it's number 8 or 9. I think it is the interview with Jessica Troy.
I think she's one of the later ones, I believe. But...
Okay, Jamie is saying she was indeed a surprise. So
okay,
yeah. But like I said, match of the night. I fell in love with Holly Barlow. She's great. She's number 1. Holly's number 1. Go Holly. Not Harley. Holly.
We're gonna switch the audio so he says Harley instead.
No, we're not.
I really love the beginning here when I believe it was her and Charlie, and all of a sudden they do that kind of like almost like a leapfrog sort of thing, and when she lands, she just stands very cutesy and starts looking at Charlie like nothing happened. I love that part of it. It was so cute. But I like the focus here a lot on Jessica. Like you said, most of the people talk more about Charlie than Jessica, and I'm glad I got to know her a little bit more after the interview too. And like knowing she's a bookworm and like the things that I see online for both of them is just pretty cool. But I love the focus on her in this match because there's so many points that she does almost like kind of like what Shayna does, if you notice, with the arm thing and like stomping on the arm. And she really is really focusing on Holly's like arm. That's during so many points during this match. And I love how she was targeting it the whole time. But yeah, I really enjoy them both as a team. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to watch them together. And that's another thing. It's like from watching them going against each other to watching them teaming up is pretty cool. And yeah, overall, it's like I love the vibes from the match. I love how they if you notice it, they really isolated her on so many points, so you can see a lot of like Charlie and Jessica having taking turns the way they did, and I like that you can see a balance from both of them here. And I like you said, it's like I love how Jessica really stands out with her gear. It's pretty cute. It's different. And I love how she looked overall. So I was really happy when I saw this. Like, yay, the Aussie girls. I love their chant for them too. I'm like, I like how they're in the UK, but they're just chanting for the Aussies here. So that was great to see them getting some love during the match here. Like you said, we have yeah, that's pretty cute. Lolly wins it, but then we have NyteSkye with the attack right after, basically on the stage as they're walking out to their victory.
Yeah, the NyteSkye, but that's perfect too. Like you have that wholesome moment, then you have the villain heels who ruin it. Just makes the match that much better. Sets up the next match. Love it, love it, love it. More, more, more. Please and thank you. Also, sign Jessica Troy. Somebody. I don't care who. I really don't. I'll put this out there. AEW. If you sign her, I'll watch your shit. I'll find a way to watch your crap if you sign her.
What? Somebody clip this. 46 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm sure that I'm almost certain that clip will make his rounds. I'm sure.
Perhaps.
Speaking of people who AEW are probably imminently going to sign, Charlie, formerly known as Dakota Kai, or as I don't know if it was well done or poorly well done by the commentary team here. They said Dakota Bye, and then they said Charlie, and I'm like, I don't love that line. Like I get it, I understand why Dakota Bye, Dakota Kai. Like I get the. It seemed weird. And then taking on Chris Statlander for the Eve International Championship, taking their, we're finding out where AEW gets their title names from. Hell, I will watch if Tony will hire Troy. Look at that, Tony Khan. You can get 2 new viewers just by hiring 1 professional wrestler. Yeah. I see where he was going with it, and I see where he wasn't going with it, but that's where my mind went, and I was just like, fine. I'll be honest. This match was fine. Like, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was fine. I'm not the world's biggest Chris Statlander fan. I think she's great. I think she's good. But I don't find her intriguing. I don't find her interesting. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't do anything that makes me feel anything when she wrestles. And outside of the alien, yes, I know, Millie. Boo, Ed. I get it. Boo, Ed. Outside of the alien character was the one thing that she did that really made her interesting, and now she's just kind of bland, generic tweener number 5. Dakota Kai is still fantastic. She's still great. She's Team Kick. She does. Yes, I'm a little surprised that Jamie's getting on me about it, but
Let's throw tomatoes in the chat for Ed. Tomatoes.
Yeah, if you got tomatoes, throw them in the chat. It's fine. Wow, somebody stole the match and posted it in full.
I didn't know about that. Ooh.
Yeah. Like it's a fine match. There's nothing wrong with it. It's great. It's fine, but there's so much other great wrestling that made me feel something that this just kind of was there. Veggies. Lord knows, everybody knows I hate my veggies, so that's the worst thing you can throw at me is anything veggie. So.
Oh, okay. That's what.
Oh, so we talk on TikTok. No wonder why I didn't see it. I don't have a TikTok anymore.
A Tickety Talk.
I deleted the Tickety Talk app.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Ashley, what did you think of this match? Hopefully you can say something nice about it.
I really enjoyed it. I love seeing Charlie as Charlie. I had only seen her as Evie, if anything, at first. And that's about it. I love the backstabber on the apron. That looked pretty nasty to begin with. The Bailey to belly happening during the match too. I was like, I love seeing the little nudge to Bailey there too. I was a little bit disappointed with commentary here because she did the chiropractor and they didn't even call it that. I know it's because of the name probably, but still I was like, that's the name of it, unless she changes it somehow. But she hasn't yet, at least that I'm aware of. Again, the Canadian Destroyer was another one that looked pretty cool. I love the fact that it took 3 two-step pile drivers to take down Charlie, I believe, if I remember correctly. So just the fact that it took that many of them for Stat to actually defeat her. But again, for somebody that was basically out of action for what, almost a year at this point. She looked great. So I again, overall, I'm waiting to see who else will sign her, because she's one of those people like I love to watch, and it's a waste of time to like have her outside of the ring for almost a year and not have her anywhere to see her. So I hope somebody really picks her up pretty soon, because she should be on TV like almost every single week at this point, and I would love to see that.
Here's the thing with Dakota Kai. I love Dakota Kai. She's got all this talent in the world. Here's the problem. If you're Bobby Fish with your knees in the ring, you're not going to get signed anywhere. If you're Dakota Kai, like Dakota Kai is the best version of Nixon Lowell because she's willing to do the job if necessary. But like when your knees fall apart the way Dakota Kai's knees constantly fall apart, it's hard for big companies to invest big money in you. WWE got burned more than once. Because remember, every time they decided to push Dakota Kai, that's when she got hurt. They made the big turn in NXT where they turned her heel, and she almost immediately got hurt after just coming back from being hurt before that. Like, I love Dakota Kai. I do. I think she's fantastic. Charlie, King Coda, Evie, whatever you want to call her, she's been great for years and years and years. Yeah, I understand Stat has bad history, but Stat's been relatively healthy for the foreseeable. Like I said, I'm not saying don't sign her because of her knees. I'm saying this is the reason why Dakota Kai sat on the shelf for years, because companies are afraid to sign somebody with the knees like Dakota Kai. I think you should do it. I think it's worth the money. I think it's worth the investment. I think people should sign her. But it's been a terrible, it's a terrible run of luck. It's not her fault. She's not a bad person. She's not doing bad things. She's not somebody out there like some of the other talent in AEW trying to climb a fucking mountain and getting hurt doing things like that, or doing interviews in the back of a fucking Uber. Like, she just gets hurt doing the thing that she's being paid to do. And inevitably that will happen. But I think if injuries weren't a thing, I think she'd be at the top of any women's wrestling division easy, because she's got charisma. Everything that Chris Statlander isn't, Dakota Kai is. Marketable, fun, interesting, charismatic, like charismatic. She's everything that Chris Statlander isn't.
Maybe he had a little bit of hatery today. I don't know. Maybe a little bit, Jamie. Who knows?
Only a little. Only a little.
Maybe that's what it is.
I had some feist. Look, I think that some of these women, there are too many women in AEW that are too talented to be sitting on the sidelines for people who aren't worth the TV time. And personally, in my mind, I don't think Chris Statlander is entertaining enough to constantly be on television. I think that there are way more entertaining and good wrestlers in that division that you could be putting on television. Sorry. I'd much rather see Billy Starks in the Chris Statlander position in AEW. I would. I'd much rather see Athena drop that ROH title. I know she wants to hold it longer than Bruno held the WWE title. I get it. That's cool too. But like, have her drop that title to Billy or somebody else and bring her up and make her the star of that division. Like, give me somebody with something. Because
I know, with Athena's always kind of like iffy, because I'm like, why would I want to drop the title that I had the world title for over 1,000 days at this point to get her AW and get lost in the shuffle? Basically, that's the only thing.
But I'm saying don't lose her in the shuffle. Put her at the top of that fucking division.
But it's difficult at the same time. It was like the way they're doing everything. So,
and again, this is an outsider's perspective. I haven't watched that division in let's put it this way. I sent a message to Astrid asking, when did Chris Statlander drop the title to? And who did she drop it to? Because I didn't even realize she wasn't the AEW champion anymore. So, like, that's how little I pay attention to the product. But at the same time, I've seen enough of Chris Statlander in the local indie scene to know that there's better. I like Stat. She's incredibly talented. She's incredibly talented. But I feel like there's better. You can spend your money more wisely, Tony.
I agree with Millie, though. The only person Athena should drop the title to is Billy. Yes.
Athena should have dropped that title to Billy about 2.5 years ago when we covered ROH Final Battle like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Anyways, moving on from Ed's hater raid for Chris Statlander and onto something that Ed's not going to have any hate for. let's talk about this main event finally. The Eve Championship match between the She Won winner, Session Moth Martina, who I've watched for years and years because I did enjoy watching the independent wrestling scene at times. And this is somebody that I always used to see clips of at various points in times. That Session Moth is such an interesting character, and the party girl and all that, like it's a character and a vibe and a person, and it just gives you a time and a place and a feeling. And then you had her taking on Rhio, who I've never seen work an actual wrestling match for. I've heard the name, I've seen the look. Rhio felt like the biggest fucking star in the entire professional wrestling world coming to the ring. The way she walked to the ring, the rap music that I could care less about, but the way she vibed to her music with that big fucking lion's head on her like mink jacket thing, she made it very clear from the moment I saw her on here, she's the baddest bitch on the block. She's the one in charge. If you're going to do anything in this company, you go through me. The fact that the fans loved to hate her, because they did. They loved to hate her, and she ate up every bit of it. She made it personal with the fans while also making it make perfect sense with the match they called. I don't love... You know me and Ashley. We're not the biggest hardcore wrestling fans. I thought this was sensational. This is my second best match of the night, and only because Holly was in the first one. That's the only reason why this is like 1B to the 1A that was the tag team title match. This was everything it needed to be. I loved this. I loved the Avengers Assembly type moment with all the bad guys beating down Session Moth Martina, the younger hungry women who are like, no, this older lady doesn't deserve to have the spotlight, and then having all the old vets come out, including Millie McKenzie, who I thought had retired. Like I thought she was like done.
She hadn't retired officially, but I know she had a lot of issues, so that's why she stepped away for a while. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The video package for this match would have been great had the music not been 5 levels too high to hear any of the things that they were saying in the video package. This was fucking fantastic. I've watched this match, not this show. I've watched this show twice. I've watched this match 5 times. I fucking love this match. This match was... The only question I have, and I don't even know if Billy can answer this, why do you have a trash can that's more expensive than a generic trash can? Because they specifically said it's a trash can meant for burning things. Why do we have the special burning things trash can as opposed to a generic trash can?
Yeah.
Either way, love it. This gets 6 CPA shirts.
I was gonna say I loved it from the beginning with the video package though, because even for like us that it's the first time we really watched like an Eve show like this, that video package just gave us everything we needed to know heading into the match. The fact that it made me even tear up was like I had to like be at work and I'm like, I hope nobody's watching because I'm about to tear up this morning. You're just watching this video, and the fact that we get to see like the way that Billy's talking to Martina and telling her like, if you're not gonna do it for you, at least do it for me because I can do it right now, and that really got me. And it's like Millie is somebody that it's still very young, so to see that I was like, oh my gosh. I love the fact that we see, I was gonna say the majority of this match Martina is down, but it's one of those things like it makes you cheer up for her even more because you want her to get that win at the end. So I love the story here of like Rhio being like overconfident, very cocky as well, of like, I got this, I know I can do this. I love the beginning even playing around with the crowd because she's bringing out the table and the crowd starts chanting for it. But then she's like, no, you guys are chanting for it, so I'm not going to bring it out. And she puts it back in. She's like, no, I'm not doing this for you guys. I'm doing it like in my time. So that was very interesting to see. But overall, I like that underdog story that we have with Martina here of like her being down during the match. And like you said, the heels come out. I took a note of some. I don't know if it was Lucy, Skye, JJU, AV, NyteSkye, Molly Spartan. If I'm missing anybody, Millie, let me know because I was trying to keep up with everybody that was showing up.
Alexxis Falcon. Alexxis Falcon was the first one to
she
come
came
out.
out a little bit later. Yeah, I had I think, and Nightshade was the first one to come out to assist Martina, and she got taken out because everybody else came out. And I like the fact, like you said, everybody who came out like the Avengers team, kind of like a scene. Everybody came out later, and that was Hayter, Windsor, Jetta, Casey, Charlie, and basically the whole Medusa complex happened because of the Millie entrance. Um, we had Charlie with the Swanton bomb at the outside, basically taking out everybody at that point because I can't even tell who it was because there was so many of them at there. Overall, just fun. It's like I love how this match it had its time too. It took a while. I think it was about like almost like 30 minutes or so if I remember correctly, but it was one of those matches that didn't feel like 30 minutes with everything that was happening because they kept my attention. And it's like I love the action. Rhio is like the confidence that she has, which is overwhelming in a great way. I love watching her, and the fact that she just does something to Martina, it takes her time before she does the next thing, because she knows that Martina's still gonna be down. But again, a code breaker again for Martina at the end for her to get that win, and I love her celebrating with everybody and like dancing to her theme song in the background. Her getting presented with the championship too. But I love the overall like underdog story the way she did it. Just again, it was incredible.
Yeah, I didn't have Cascada and S Club 7 on my checklist for wrestling themes that would go hard, but hearing the Wrestle Friends come out to S Club 7 and hearing Martina coming out to Cascada every time we touch is indeed a vibe and a choice. Yeah, no, this was sensational. The new belt. The new belt was just, so this is where Peggy helped me because I was like, why did they bring out a belt to get like did Rhio change the belt and they did it? No. They just gave her a winged eagle. Like my millennial heart just went like boop, 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 boop. Because they gave her an Eve championship that looks like the old winged eagle. And I'm just like, oh, the winged eagle is, by the way, and you're all wrong if you disagree, is the most beautiful championship in all of professional wrestling. So if you disagree with that, you're just wrong. You're just flatly wrong. So just get over it. But no, the new belt is fire. I love it on that white stripe with the gold, with the gold goal and the white stripe. It's the one thing WWE has always seemed to get right with their women's championships is that white stripe with a gold on it. It's just sensational. This show from top to bottom was sensational. I love it. I love it at all. Oh, Charlie Morgan had Jessie J's do it like a dude. Okay, I didn't recognize that as Jessie J. But that does make sense. This show top to bottom was fantastic. I loved every bit of this. Except for the parts that that I didn't. But even then, like I understood why it's great for the business and why I try to be smart enough to know like when something I might hate, other people might love. I try to be like, I hate this, but I see the genius in it. I see the genius in everything that happened in that comedy segment. Because in the end, it makes the main event that much better. Because that brutal main event being paired with that comedy wrestling shows what this company is capable of. These guys have been doing it for the better part of 10 to 20 years. This isn't a new company. This isn't a fly-by-night thing. Dan has been out there doing this for years. And yes, there are some people backstage with some questionable issues. That being said, he's giving an opportunity for the best women's wrestlers in the world to go out there and show what they're doing. And at the end of the day, that's what you need to take away from this show. These women went out there and killed it for everybody. Jetta on, and just to go back, I love that each time Charlie returns and Jetta's on comms, she has to mention that she didn't come alone. Yeah, there's that too, apparently. How do you not give this show 5 CPA shirts? Like, how do you not do it? It's the best show we've covered all year long, which is saying something because we covered some fun shows. But it's by far my favorite show of the year.
Yeah, I think this and last week are probably my two favorite ones. Which actually, now that we're talking about it, I figured, let's see if I can find it now before I forget. Probably one of our most watched taking over shows in a long time, to be honest.
Oh yeah. by far and away.
We have 266 views on it and counting still because it's still changing very often. So yeah, pretty cool that this is one of our watch shows. So it's like I think between this C4 show last week and this one, definitely the best shows I had so far in the year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm going on the back end to get the YouTube official numbers for it. Yeah, the C4 show has 266 on it. Yes, as of right now on the back end. Yeah, the women absolutely crushed it, Jamie. I agree 1000%. And the show that's airing, well, probably just finished, but airing right now on Independent Wrestling TV is the show that we're covering next week, which is Girl Fight Wrestling. And we get to announce that we're having a special guest join us for that show. One of the people that was there live, Jose on the air, our good friend Jose, is going to go ahead and join us next week as we talk all things Girl Fight Wrestling, run by the wonderful Billy Starks. That promotion that she's involved in. So we're gonna love going ahead and doing that. But if you want to go ahead and support the women of Eve, Pro Wrestling Eve on YouTube, Pro Wrestling Eve on X, go ahead and sign up for their $9. We didn't talk about it, but this same weekend on the Sunday show where they had Wrestle Queendom, they had a show on Friday night, Women Behaving Badly. For your $10, you get their entire back catalog, which includes both of those shows that happened just this weekend. And that show includes, like I said, Jamie Hayter versus Miyu Yamashita. So if you want to see that time limit draw times 2, go ahead and watch that show. Go ahead and get the $9 thing. It's well worth it. I'm probably going to continue that membership. Like, I specifically got it just for this show. And after having watched the show, I'm probably going to keep it because it's just that good. These women are sensational. This product is fantastic. Ashley, tell the good people where they can find you this upcoming week.
For those that haven't seen it, we do have the Killer Cut Screen 7 review up on my YouTube channel and the one for OLE as well. So if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified when I upload or OLE uploads and we go live as well. Like I said, we appreciate the support on the show from last week because those numbers are incredible. I couldn't believe it when I kept seeing it go up every single time. Other than that, you can find me. My Twitter is Astrid Pizarro. My Instagram and Threads is AstridPizarro20. And that's about it for me until next week.
Yes, next week.
Oh, no.
What? Nothing.
Sure.
You know, of course, you can find me at all the usual places down here. That's fine. That's great. Peggy's here in the chat, so we're going to go ahead and drop Peggy's thing down here because Peggy is part of our Marvel Talk team. We'll be back at the end of the month to go ahead and start talking weekly episodes of Daredevil. Just to give you a heads up, Marvel Talk will be moving right now for our weekly episodes that we're doing for Daredevil. We don't know exactly how long they're going to be moved for, but at least for the weekly episodes of Daredevil, they're going to be going at 8 p.m. on Thursday evenings Eastern Standard Time before Ring Respect Radio, as now Ring Respect Radio has moved back to its 9:05 Eastern time slot. Because, of course, Peggy and the lovely Jamie are both covering AEW, and it would be unfair on Peggy to have her try to do that and then try to do a Marvel podcast at the ass crack of midnight over there where Peggy is living. So we are going to definitely go ahead and do Thursday night episodes. So it'll be a little bit earlier in the day, a little bit later in the week, but we're very excited to be able to cover Daredevil Born Again Season 2 coming up. And, of course, like I said, next week, we've got Jose on the air here, me and Astrid talking Girl Fight Wrestling. Finally! They finally put the show up tonight. I'll be watching it tomorrow. I'll be making a thumbnail later on this week, so I don't have to do it on Monday or Tuesday like I did this week, where I literally made the thumbnail at, like, what is it? All right, it's 11:15. I made it 4 hours ago. So I'm making the thumbnail early this week, so we can go ahead and promote that. You can find our local establishment at Ole Podcast on all your favorite social media platforms and at our local establishment on YouTube and Twitter. Remember that we are monetized on Twitter as a YouTube partner, so if you want to go ahead and send us a super chat, we would greatly appreciate that. It helps us support with the Canva and with the StreamYard that we use so that me and Ashley can do this show in 2 different locations and not have to worry about it. Thank you all for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Please go ahead and give this video a like if you can. It's been great. Astrid, we're going to have to come up with something for the last week of the month because the MPX show we're either going to be missing a match or we're going to just have to deal with the show as it is because it did not record well because their Twitch stream sucks and there is no VOD. So we may have to find another women's wrestling show for the end of the month. But at least we have a show for next week. Remember, this is Women's Wrestling March here at our local establishment, or at least on Taking Over. So we're very excited for that. So again, Girl Fight next week, something else, women's wrestling at the end of the month. It may just be a compilation of just a bunch of different wrestling matches that are all women's matches, because I have a few that I want Astrid to watch, so I may just have her do that. Thank you all for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Goodbye. Oh, wait, crap. I have to hit buttons. I'm like, do all the things, and I forgot I need to hit the button.
I am in misery.